Hey, it's Dusti Martin with Platinum Living Realty dropping in to give you your monthly market update for the towns of Cave Creek and Carefree. We are going into our summer slow season, and there are talks of going into a buyer's market. If you want the real scoop and the real numbers and what's happening, buckle up, let's go, wait till the end, and I will show you exactly what to expect in every single price range. All right, so our active listings are up 42.3% over this time last year. That sounds like a lot, right? Yeah, that's great. Unfortunately, when you have almost nothing and you increase it by about 38 or 40 listings, then you have a little bit of something. And so it's going to be moving our percentages a whole lot more right now this season because of where we're at, because we had literally no inventory. So our percentages are going to be skewed. So we really are going to have to, hold tight with me, wait till the end, and we will break it down by price point to show you exactly what is happening in every single price range in our market. All right. So like I said, active listings are up 42.3% over this time last year, but our sold listings are only down 16.2% over this time last year. And our median price per square foot is up over 21% this time last year. So in the last year, we've seen a lot of 30s, 40s, 50s, 60% in some places around the valley, with our price per square foot being up over last year. The problem is 2 to 4% is normal. So we are still way, way, way ahead of where we should be appreciation wise. So congratulations. If you bought a house last year, you made a good $50 a square foot. You made 21% or more, 21.2% over this time last year. Our months of supply is up a lot, 69.7% over this time last year, but that is also a misleading number. We basically went from 0.98 or just under a 1 month supply to a 1.66 month of supply. So we added about 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks worth of inventory. Let's call it 2.5. That's not a lot when you've got almost nothing. So keep that in mind. Then our median days on market, believe it or not, with our active listings being up and our sale prices being up and our months of supply up, our median days on market is down. So that basically means our homes are coming on the market at a much higher price, and there are more homes coming on the market, but they are selling for a lot more money and for way faster than they were this time last year. So our median days on market's actually down 3.7%, currently sitting at 26 days on market. Keep in mind, at 26 days, there's almost nowhere else to go in the downward direction in terms of days on market. So our shift downward is going to be smaller than if we were to shift up, because, taking a day off of the median days on market, taking a day off of the time it takes to close that deal is, when you're taking a day off of, say, 23 days, 26 days is what we're at right now for Cave Creek and Carefree, that makes a little bit of shift, and there's almost nowhere else to go simply because it takes about 30 days to close a loan. If you got a really good lender and you're super well qualified, you can maybe get it in 3 weeks, but most loans are going to take about a month to close. And so between having a lot of cash in our market and some loans and buyers that are just rip roaring to go, there's not much more downward pressure we can do unless we see another influx of cash buyers. Are we going to see them over the summer? Probably not. But that is normal for Arizona. June, July, and August are typically some of our slowest months, especially June and July in terms of getting new homes under contract and seeing our inventory creep up. Why? Because it's hot and most people are on vacation. School's out, temps are creeping up, our snowbirds are gone for the year. They won't be back until late September, early October. And most other people who aren't snowbirds are running around trying to enjoy their summer, take their vacations before school gets back in season, the whole 9 yards. You know how it goes. So keep in mind, usually the few weeks before and the few weeks after 4th of July holiday, that's the slowest in Arizona. There's even a political joke around it. Where's the best place to find an Arizona voter in the summer? San Diego. So keep that in mind. So with all that in mind, let's look at our price ranges, our supply and demand by price ranges. We don't have any stats for anything between $0 and $200,000. There is no inventory, therefore there's nothing to calculate. So we're going to skip all the way down to the $200,000 to $300,000 price range. We are at an even Steven 1 month of supply, well inside a seller's market, despite inventory being up so much. And then in the $300,000 to $500,000 price range, it's the same story, exactly 1 month of supply. Remember, 4 months or less is a seller's market, and here we're sitting at 1. So keep that in mind. Then in the $500,000 to $700,000 price range, we're at about 2 months worth of inventory. Again, crazy hot seller's market. You're still going to see multiple offers, assuming that the home is priced and marketed appropriately. And then get this, in our $700,000 to $1 million price range, this is where we're starting to get a lot more of our listings in Cave Creek and Carefree as our price points go up. And we're at actually 0.94, just under a 1 month supply. So again, crazy hot seller's market, even in that price range. Then we look at the $1 to $3 million price range. This is where we have the majority of our listings now in Cave Creek and Carefree. The others we were seeing, in 500, 700, we're seeing the high 20 active listing range to the low 30s under $1 million. And the 1 to 3 million, we closed the month with 68 active listings, and we were sitting at, get this, just over 2 months worth of inventory. So for the luxury market in Cave Creek and Carefree, despite being in what is traditionally our slowest few weeks, months, we're in a great place to be. And then over the $3 million mark, we're actually sitting at an even 4 months worth of inventory. So we're literally on the line of what constitutes a seller's market in Cave Creek and Carefree. Keep in mind, this time last year, the over $3 million mark was at a 4.5 month supply. So we actually have 2 weeks less inventory in that price range than we did this time last year, which is saying a lot. I think people are starting to say, you know what, interest rates are going up. I don't want to lose all the buyers. I want to capitalize on what's going on in the market. My home value is really up. Maybe it's time to sell. And if you're a buyer, you've got to keep on top of what your interest rate is doing, because knowing that it's going to go up a few more times this year, I think it's going to create a little bit of a frenzy before we see it cool off, especially under $1 million, because the higher the interest rates, the less people can afford for their monthly payment. And it's going to take those buyers from the higher price points, and it's going to shove them downwards a little bit in what they can afford. So if you're a buyer, yeah, we're in our slow season, but it is still not slow by any stretch of the imagination. So keep that in mind. I know that there are other statisticians, is that a word? There's other people out there who like to crunch numbers like I do, and they did the same thing last year that they're doing this year, and they're sounding all these alarm bells saying, oh, the sky is falling. We're going to be in a buyer's market come the end of the year if we're not careful. Well, they said that last year, and that didn't happen. And I'm starting to see a pattern with those people who tend to peddle numbers for a living. I'm starting to see kind of a summer routine, if you will, where they come out at the beginning of the summer and go, oh my gosh, the sky is falling and inventory is going up. Well, guess what? That's what happens in Arizona in the summer. If you are wondering what to expect in your price point or the area that you're looking to buy in, or if you're wondering what your home might sell for in today's market, go ahead and give me a call at 480-717-9405 or visit my website at dustimartinrealtor.com.